In this video, I'll be showing you how to make an open cassette loop. The first thing I will be showing is how to prepare the Walkman. So, I have my Walkman here, and it works. It turns around and makes noise, that's great. And then you'll need some side cutters, because this is not necessarily a delicate operation. So the first thing we'll be doing is opening the lid of the Walkman, and here you'll see we have these opening plastic mechanism. These we're gonna cut with the side cutters, and then we're essentially just gonna break the lid off. You don't necessarily have to do it with every Walkman, but I tried opening this one up, see if there's any gentler way to remove the lid, but there isn't. I would have to completely disassemble the whole Walkman to do it, so a bit of brute force is what we are going to use today. So here we are. Take your side cutters. There, and the other side is a bit smaller. There we are, and then there we go. The lid is off, so you can just, well, you can save it or discard it or whatever. And then we have our open Walkman. It still works, it turns around, it makes noise. Great. So that's all you need to make an open Walkman. Next I'll be showing you how to make your cassettes ready. I'll see you there. Now I'll be showing you how to make your cassettes. It will end up looking something like this, so it's actually just the bottom part we need of this cassette. As you can see, I've cut it open, and then I've been sanding it down. What you need for this part, you'll need your trusty precision screwdriver set, a cassette you are willing to sacrifice, some fine sandpaper. This is a P100, easy to get and cheap. So, and then your saw. I'll recommend maybe a smaller saw if you got one. This is just an everyday saw I would use to cut wood with, but it works fine with this as well, so no worries. Firstly, I'll be emptying it out, so when I cut it there won't come any plastic shavings in any of the parts. Also, of course, there's some tape in here. I don't want it getting stuck on the saw. So firstly, I'll be unscrewing the lid and emptying it out. And now, with that done, I'll go outside and saw it over. Now, with your open cassette cut down and sanded, we're ready for the tape. I have cheated a bit because I've already prepared some tape and put it in, but the method is like how I showed you in the last video, splicing and cutting your tape and then put it in your cassette. And it will look something like this, with the tape hanging out of the where the bottom part would have been, or the top part technically of the cassette. What I have here is 56 centimeter or thereabouts, and that's about 22 seconds. On the tape I have recorded some sound, just a bit of drums to demonstrate. Unless you have a Walkman with a recording option and you're able to remove the lid, you'll have to pre-record it, the sound onto your tape. So that might take a couple of tries to get it the right size, the right length, and make it a proper cut. You'll be able to hear on this one that it's not exactly lined up, and it can be quite difficult if it's in rhythm. That's why drones is really good on such loops here. Now, for the demonstration, I'll just put it in. Here we are. And then you need a round object, a bottle or whatever you have at hand. This helps stabilize and keep the tape tight, like it would in a proper cassette. So, let's listen. So what I tried there, I was putting some strain on the motor. By putting strain on the motor, you can slow down the speed in which the tape revolves. This pitches down your sound as well. So you can make some pretty cool things with that, but be careful because it can be quite finicky, and I have already some trouble with this tape right here, with which it's just stops. So yeah, again, it's a delicate operation, this, so keep trying and experiment with it. But besides touching the rotating part here, you can also press in here. And depending on your Walkman and the tape you've made, you have varying results in where you have to put the pressure for it to work. Also, by taking your tape and pinching it very lightly between your fingers. You'll be able to do the same thing. Just remember to keep your hands dry, otherwise it'll stick. The tape will stick to your fingers and it won't move. So yeah, try messing around with it, both the cassette, the rotating part here, and the tape. Otherwise, that's how you make an open cassette loop.